We are standing on I-75, and tonight we're gonna show you how they make roads magically appear. And plot twist, they don't magically appear. We really should have thought this through a little bit better before we did this. Paving is pretty cool. I mean, hot. How hot? About 320 degrees of hot, or enough to potentially bake a pizza. Very nice. Before we get baking, let's see what's on tonight's menu. Milling 14 inches of existing shoulder and replacing it with 3 layers of asphalt, resulting in 1,000 feet of fresh interstate. Let's talk with the head chef, Superintendent Daniel Gerals, to get the lowdown on the entire project.
There's an existing 3 travel lanes with a 10-foot shoulder. We're removing the 10-foot shoulder. Yeah. We're excavating down 14.5 inches, and we're replacing it with black base. In one night, we're coming all the way back up with the black base to within 1.5 inches of the top. We started out at 500-something feet a night, and we've worked our way up to about 1,000 feet a night.
With one paver?
Yep, with one paver. Yep. So in that 14.5 inches of asphalt, you've got base, you got sub-base asphalt, you've got base asphalt, and you've got structural asphalt. Yep. So we're coming back up with a 12-foot wide sub-base, base, structural lift asphalt. And once we've wrapped the job 12-foot wide, which will be the 4th lane, we're going to come back and we'll put our shoulder on. So that's what the existing shoulder is a smaller base group, less asphalt. Yep. That's why we're having to take it all the way back down to the bottom and come back with full depth construction.
I got you.
Project's a little over, there's 20 miles one way. So then we got to come back southbound.
That's a lot of asphalt.
That's a lot of asphalt.
Wow.
We have to be completely done milling before we can start paving. And the milling's so deep that we're doing it in passes. And once we're done with that, we start phasing the trucks over to the asphalt plant to start the paving operation. So we just go ahead and take care of all the milling and then start on the paving.
I got you.
It's a whole lot of work to do in one night.
That's a lot. All right, and they close the lane at 8?
Yep, he should be coming by shortly.
Here we are. That's I-75 right there. Behind me, Anderson Columbia paving crew getting to work. It is 7:30, so we've got about 30 minutes. They're warming up the machines, making sure all the equipment is good to go. 8 o'clock, 30 minutes. Traffic control will roll through here, and they will block off the right lane. We're working on the shoulder, so that right lane will be blocked off at 8 o'clock, and then the party will really start. Or should I say, what term do you use for pizza making?
Baking, yeah, you're gonna bake a pizza.
Okay, yeah. The pizza making will start. It is 8:15. We just saw the cone guys come through here to put our lane closure in. So I-75 is down to 2 lanes. If you were driving I-75 on this evening and had some traffic, we're sorry.
Oh, merge! You had your, come on, you got, seize the gap!
We're trying to make it better for you all. I-75 normally 3 lanes down to 2. So they pushed it out 1. The Florida Highway Patrol was right behind the cone guys. You saw that with the drone shots. And now it is officially into the work time frame that they have every night, about 8 to 5 a.m. The mill with Native Contracting is tying into where they stopped last night. So it's going to the old asphalt just in front of the new asphalt that they finished up technically this morning, and they'll start milling. They've got 3 passes, about 1,000 feet each. The first pass is the first bit of asphalt. The second bit is the second bit of asphalt. And then the last pass is to get it down to that subgrade that they need for that new travel lane, and they'll build it back up with the paver.
14 divided by 3.
14 divided by 3 is 4 point something. It's on the screen because we have editing. Another fun fact, as they get fired up here, the trucks, they're running about 20 trucks tonight, and the trucks are running both hauling the millings, which are just hitting that first truck of millings right there. So they're hauling millings to the plant, and then they'll be hauling asphalt from the plant to the project all night, same 20 trucks. And boy, woo-hoo-hoo, smells like money. First pass on the mill, everybody. I'm gonna go up on the mill and give you the mill point of view with Aaron Cam. Time to earn my handsome salary of millions of dollars. He's close to those trees. We were talking about night work, and they're like, how do people get used to working at night? So I was like, well, they go to the gas station, they go to the energy drink fridge, they open it up, and they buy a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, I usually keep 2 or 3 in the cooler. But we go through that at night.
The grader's coming through here to just open up the shoulder a little bit. They'll eventually take this all the way down to come through here and pave. This will be the new shoulder where I'm standing. They're not doing that yet though. They're doing this lane first all the way down, and then afterwards they'll come through here. They'll do the earthworks for this shoulder, and then this will be paved. That will be travel lane, 4 lanes, headed north, I-75.
When we cut this old sod and grass up, it is amazing how many old beer cans you find on this road. I mean, old Budweiser cans from the 80s, 70s, all that.
But they're all old, because there wouldn't be any drinking and driving these days.
Yeah.
How many tons is it in a night?
It's about 900 tons for this section right here, going without to put a night.
I gotcha. Where are they hauling the millings to? One of the plants?
Yes, they take it back to the Coleman plant. All the lime rock goes to our pit on 44, because we'll use that lime rock to come back out here, put it down and build the shoulder.
I got you. So you'll store it there until you're ready for the shoulder?
Exactly, yep.
Okay. He wasn't kidding.
Is that Budweiser?
It's Budweiser. Nice.
Your favorite?
When people think dangerous jobs, they don't exactly think interstate paving. I will say this is probably the most dangerous job in the industry, bar none. paving on the interstate at night. You think people would slow down. They don't slow down. They're not looking out. They could be distracted. They could be driving drunk. You just don't know with the traffic out here. We're still a little ways away. They are slow a little bit, but as the night gets later, it can get pretty wild. And then on a paving job, not only are you looking out for the traffic, 18-wheelers going right by you, like all these trucks here, but you've got heavy machines like the mill, you've got truck traffic, our truck traffic going in and out. There's all sorts of stuff going on. You've got to keep your head on a swivel, or else really bad stuff can happen really fast. It is 8:45 Eastern Time, Florida. The milling machine just backed up all the way. So we did the first pass, now it backed up all the way. It's time for the second pass. So here is the depth of the first pass. The second pass will take the remaining asphalt out, and then the third pass will be the subgrade, the final subgrade for the paving. 3 passes. So with that, they're about to do the same thing. Let's hit the cool milling montage. Since they're milling a total of 14 inches and 3 lifts, they have to make stairs with the milling machines so that the other equipment can get down into the cut without completely falling off the edge. Let's go to Daniel to hear about this more.
As we're doing our mill cut, we cut it out to the asphalt lift thickness. That way when we come back, we got a set of stair step. All we have to do is back up, sit down on every stair step and take off. We don't have to take the time to build a bed or anything like that. We can just go straight, sit down on our step, take off. On our next lift, we'll back up another 5 to 10 foot, sit down on that step, back up again. We do it on both ends. That also gives our equipment the ability to get in and out of a hole that's 14 inches thick.
Okay, everybody, time check. It's 9:20. 9:20. The mill has made 2 passes. You can see this was the first pass right here. Then this was the second pass all the way down. So the majority of the asphalt is gone. Now, because it's a 7-foot, 3-inch wide drum, they can't get all the way across. So the third pass
So nice, you say it twice.
The third pass is this little strip here, this last little bit of asphalt. The trucks are staged up on that closed lane. The mill will come through here real quick, pull this out, and then we'll be on to the final 2 passes, which will be lowering it down, preparing that grade for the asphalt. What he was just telling me was this mill here is completely maxed out. It can't go any deeper. That black box there is resting right against the asphalt. That's the limit. So they are on the limit. This 14 inches, you won't see milling this deep really ever. They're only doing it to build this entirely new lane. It's quite rare.
What we're doing is we're trying to measure down to make sure we got our correct depth. We're looking for 13 3/4 at a 3% crossflow. So Johnny here on this side, he holds it at 3%, while Chris here measures down to make sure we got our depth. 3. All right, looks good.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen and children, it is 9:50 because I can't read a watch. The milling machine is making the 4th pass, but the 3rd pass over this area to get us to the final 14 inches. You can see the paving guys right behind the mill with their straight edge and level to measure the depth to check for quality before they start laying the asphalt down. So this right here is where we started. This is where we are now. That is a huge cross section that mill has removed. The dirt that they're now in, the subgrade underneath the 2 layers of asphalt, is going into the truck, and then the mill will make a 5th pass right here and throw this dirt onto what will then be the new shoulder. So they're gonna leave the dirt piled up all the way down, and they'll grade that over time to become the new shoulder. As they said before, the key thing about this level here is not just the overall depth, but the grade. So it's at a 3% from here to there, so it falls by 3% this way, sloping towards the ditch, so that as the rain comes, the people on 75 probably think, what the heck's that guy doing? What? The rain goes, it falls onto here, and then it'll slide this way into the drainage ditch instead of staying on the road to keep everybody nice and safe. So, almost done with milling. 5 total passes, 3 passes over each area, 3 layers. That is the grade now for paving. Almost paving time. Before they paved though, they had to prepare the subgrade and brush everything. So we saw the broom, the hero of the operation, brush this edge so that the new asphalt can tie into the existing asphalt and be nice and strong so there's no failure point here. And then the roller ran down the subgrade and back to make sure everything is nice and firm before the asphalt comes over here. And that is so loud. Now that the milling is wrapping up, the oven is preheated, so to speak, and the trucks that were originally lining up to get millings are now lined up with hot asphalt ready to go into the paver. All right, everybody, it is officially 11:05. That is the first truck of asphalt. That was the first truck hauling this material originally. It returned to the plant, grabbed the hot stuff, and it is unloading it into the MTV here, material transfer vehicle. This here allows the trucks to stay up on the existing asphalt, and then it has this conveyor belt that feeds the asphalt into the hopper of the paver. They're feeding into the paver now to get it started, and there we go. The first little bit of paving. Let's go to the back of the paver now. And there you have it, the first bit of mix laid down tonight. The first of a few lifts. How many inches is the first lift?
4 inches.
4 inches, okay. And so you'll do 3 lifts tonight? 4.
Yeah, we'll do a 4-inch.
And then a final surface.
3-inch, a 2.5-inch, and an 1.5 inch. Now,
Okay.
we'll save the final 1.5 inch of structural.
Yeah.
We'll come back and pave it all at one time.
Yep.
That way we can profile it, get it right.
I got you.
In the meantime, we put that little wedge in.
Yeah, we saw that this morning, yeah.
Maybe check our depth out here.
So the first of 4. The first of 4, starting with a 3-inch lift.
This lift right here takes all night though. This is our slowest going lift because we're laying the most amount of asphalt. It's hard to keep enough material inside the hopper of the paver to keep it moving. After this pass, when we back up, we're laying 3 inches, we can move a lot faster. So the way we check depth out here, because you can't really use a check stick, we measure down from the top. We kind of stomp it out, act like it's, the roller's hitting it. Measure down 6 inches, right on the money. We We know we're good on our depth. We use this as the control point and run slope over that way to make sure we have our slope right.
The depth is like determining if you want a thin crust pizza or if you want a deep dish Chicago style pizza. The thicker the lift, the thicker the pizza. Also, since it is now 11 p.m., past 11 p.m., they were able to push traffic out further. So now there are 2 lanes closed, giving this paving crew here a lot more room to work. It's much safer. Traffic is going much slower. It's not ideal for them, but it is very, very much needed for this construction crew. For those of you at home that are a little slower like myself, let's recap what the heck is going on here. Now that we have some asphalt, we can see it all unfolding and rolling. That was, up until a few hours ago, the shoulder. We've got 3 travel lanes here, and this will be the 4th travel lane for I-75 headed north out of Florida. The thing with travel lanes though is that you've got big trucks, cars, you've got all sorts of stuff running over it. So the existing shoulder, it wasn't that much asphalt, it wasn't up to snuff. We had to come in here and remove it because it needed to get toughened up. Now this is tough guy asphalt. That is a big cross section, and once they're finished with those 4 lifts, it'll be capable of holding traffic for many years. Then what I'm standing on here, this dirt pile, will be the future shoulder. So we've got a 12-foot travel lane now, and then this from here 10 feet out will be the shoulder. Once the paving crew is done here, the grading crew will come in. They'll use this material and some of the material they pulled out of there and additional base material to build up a new shoulder. And then the paving crew will come back and they'll pave just a little bit of asphalt over that shoulder to keep it nice and tidy. Cars aren't going to be on it very much, but they want to keep it nice and clean. The ingredients are all here. The oven is at a nice 320 degrees, and we're ready to get to the moment you've all been waiting for, the baking. To more adequately explain the paving process with a very well thought out analogy, it's time to get into baking mode. All right, no, it's doughy. All right, we're gonna make our little pizza. Any road needs a strong foundation. So to begin our analogy, we're gonna start with the foundation of our pizza, our dough. So here we are, our nice and strong foundation, but I can only do so much. Let's roll it a little bit. Very nice.
Very nice.
Ah, it's hot. Hot. Ah. 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 Right. Okay. Now that we have our foundation, it's time for some ingredients. Ow, it's hot. Continuing our perfect analogy, we need something to bind our surface together. So instead of oil, we're using here pizza sauce, like so. Very good. Spread it around. Perfect. Don't want too much. There we go. We still need it to be edible. The crew is gonna have this when we're done. Thank goodness I have my apron on. And now for the real structure, the cheese. So let's put some cheese on there, like so. Don't want it to be too lumpy because again, the crew is working up a real hunger. Now finally, you can't see this, can you? Hold please, editing. And finally, we want a perfect surface. And any perfect pizza surface begins and ends with pepperoni. Because we ain't vegans around here. Right. Typically on a job site, it's a little hard to bake a pizza, but fortunately, this asphalt here is about 320 degrees, so we'll just place our pizza, clean surface, of course, we don't want any contamination, on the hot surface for about 30 minutes, and we'll see you in a half an hour for the final product. All right, it's been 30 minutes, so let's check out the final product.
I would give it a 1. I'll give it a 2.
That actually turned out pretty good. Now let's give it a try. Delicious.
So good and tasty.
We've put the recipe down in the description so you can try it at home. Now let's go feed the crew.
So you get a bucket,
And then just put the bucket over whatever you want to cook.
put some asphalt in the bucket.
Oh.
Then you wrap your meat in tinfoil.
Yeah.
Then you put it in there, and then you put more asphalt on top of it.
Really?
So you got 320 degree asphalt all
Yeah.
the way around it. It's just like being in an oven. And after about 20 or 30 minutes, the asphalt will get it cooling off. You just switch out your asphalt, put some new asphalt in it, and it keeps cooking.
Wow.
A lot of times we'll cook like sausage and like peppers and onions or something.
Yeah.
In it. That's the main thing we cook in it.
Never pizza.
No, we've never cooked pizza before.
Well, I really recommend pizza. It worked out
Yeah.
very well. Yeah. Every serious baker needs a serious pair of footwear. Fortunately, I've got Ariats. We're good to go. Shout out to Ariat, our channel sponsor. All right, everybody, time check. It is 12:10. 12:10. Yes, the crew, paving crew, has placed this first base layer of asphalt. There's still a few more to go, but we want to go to bed. We're not going to see the whole thing. However, before we go, just wanted to call one thing out. Between each layer of asphalt, they have the tack truck come through and apply the tack coat. That is the glue to bond the different layers together, making it all one big cross section of asphalt. A very key ingredient in the entire process. Thank you very much to the fine folks at Anderson, Columbia. We were supposed to be up in Georgia this week, but rain got the best of us. They said, come on out on short notice. Great crew, great project. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Stay dirty, everybody.